Well, thank you, Craig, the hostess with the mostest. Hello, Unlimited Wisdom family. Jim, we're all betting whether or not you were outside of a Costco, so you're probably going to have to tell us if we're wrong or right. Hi, Scott. Hi, Mary. Hi, Lisa Marie, Eric, Fahad, Melody, and of course, Matthew, Sandy, Michael and Angela, Deborah Grady, and Coach Bob and Jim Williamson, my lovely wife, Terry. And today's topic, I'm going to be very, very quick today. My topic today is called reset. Reset. Now, one of the things I think is very, very important about this is I was telling people all the time, a lot of us might have stuff in our past that makes us really good at where we are today or where we want to moving forward. And one of the things that I brought up over and over again, high faith, is that my background being in automotive industry, there was nothing but constant change. It really, really made it just awesome for me. So, even when I was in racing, there'd be days, I mean, times where a certain thing would be illegal, but it was making the fastest cars or the most reliable cars. Me and Jim send racing stuff back and forth all the time. And hi, Scott McKinney. And one of the things is that there would be a certain car or something, and they still do this in all racing, but someone figures out something that gives them the advantage over the other racers. And if they get found out about it and the other teams can't adapt, they make that illegal. So what I mean by that is all of a sudden you could find out something that was making your car faster. You adapt that, and then because it's an unfair advantage, they make it illegal. And so a lot of times that's very, very, very expensive. But not only is it expensive, but it takes a lot of effort and a lot of time. And you got to get into this place where all of a sudden, when something changes, you just don't throw up your hands and go, I'm done. I'm tired of this changing. And one of the things that I loved when I look at things that really caused some resets in my life, and I know a lot of you are at this right, hi Dustin, are at this age, but when cellular phones came out, that was one of the things I thought that was a massive reset. You know what I mean? Because there was just people that, they were sort of frowned upon that you build like a side hustle at your work. Some people are just too busy at work to even do a side hustle, you know? But you think about that in a blink of an eye when all of a sudden everyone had cell phones to be able to do a side hustle at your breaks or your lunch. You know what I mean? Also on your commute back and forth to work. But it really, really helped out for people to get this little reset. Then all of a sudden, the internet came out. And I can remember like it was yesterday on how many people I knew that were really, really successful that just mentally in their mind just went, you know, all the internet is going to be is not only satanic, right? But it was going to destroy everything. It was going to stop people from being successful. And I know that I've shared this before, but Bill Gates wrote a book called The Road Ahead. And this was way, way, way back in the day. I think if someone, Craig's really good at research, so he can probably tell us when this book came out. But hi, Shelley. Hi, Shelley. And so when this book come out, it talked about, that a lot of people were constantly saying to Bill Gates that, hey, have you seen this thing called a browser? And you can search the internet. It's called Netscape. And he talks about it in the book. And in the book, he got so mad that he pulled together a leadership meeting with the people that work for him and says the next person that mentions Netscape is going to get fired. And he goes, I don't want to hear anything about it. It's stupid, blah, 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 right? And what someone did that felt like they had courage and bravery is there was these 3x5 floppy disks, and it took 5 of them to install into your computer. And someone left those 5 floppy disks with a big rubber band around it and left it on his desk Friday afternoon. And he said when he came in and seen it, he was just so upset. And, people's leaving. So, doesn't have time to call a meeting, try to figure out who knows who did it. And he loaded Netscape into his computer and he stayed there the whole weekend. So he installs the browser. He's surfing this thing called the internet. And it was the reset for him. So when the reset happened, when they came in Monday, they had an emergency meeting, and Bill Gates said, everything that we're working on right now, you need to stop working on it. And the whole entire team is now focused on a new free browser and a free email program. Well, that was called Outlook for some of you that have been around for a while. And then the browser was Internet Explorer. And he felt like he was so far behind when he seen this. Is the only way that he could feel like he could beat the competition was to give the browser and the email program for free. And of course, hey, that really did it. I don't know if you guys know this short story, but Netscape took him to court, and they lost. And so it was just this thing where they were saying because he launched his for free that he destroyed their revenue. And yeah, but so what? That's called competition, right? And the reason that I say this is there's people that are called early adapters. I think without, Matt's busy in the background and we'll leave him alone. But people that are early adapters of any kind of technology or any kind of idea, the early adapters are the people that are not only making things happen, but what immediately happens is if the other people don't adapt, then they think that the change ruined them, right? So I really find it interesting because I'm on a couple of big chat boards of some really big leaders in the industry, and I get to see all the stuff that they're saying in these chat boards. And there's a lot of people right now that are just coming up with this great idea that maybe you could use the internet, not just social media, to actually do duplication and build a group inside this industry called network marketing. And I would I think I uploaded my first video maybe in 98. 1998. And so now it's 26. What is that? Like 27, 28 years later, people say, who is really the person that knows how to build and make money online? Because everything has gotten so saturated. You know what I mean? It's like someone figures out how to make a little money on Instagram or TikTok, and the next thing you know, then everyone jumps into it. So we got, Corky, that's a dear friend of ours in the family. And, he used to just make bank on TikTok. And he's got more followers now than he's ever had. But now the income just keeps going down and down and down. So it's this constant thing where people are looking at reset. And what I really truly know without a shadow of a doubt in my mind is AI is going to be another, or is this other reset thing, right? And Matt can't keep up with the amount of new upgraded changes that are happening almost on a daily basis. You know what I mean? And so, he, instead of, trying to stop and wanting to teach others, he just needs to be wide open in the game to capitalize on every little change that is happening. What really great for us is that, Matt is using that to make AI upline. So it's just like the constant changes with that. And so when changes come out, I wanted to share with each and every one of you, because I shared yesterday that, bowling, for those of you who want to rewatch bowling, you know what I mean? Born to Bowl is the whole concept and point that I was trying to get across yesterday is that when someone figured out how to be better, when you're knocking down a bunch of wooden pins, there's one thing that really does it if you're looking at mathematics and science. And that is if you catch that pocket at a perfect angle, that all 10 pins fall down. And the way that I explain it, and this is not to get technical, but if you guys are looking, directly at a point, that's very hard to hit. But if you can hit the 1, 2 or the 1, 3 exactly at the same time, whether you're left or right-handed, that's the best way to win. So when you look at a strike and you're looking at that, all you got to do is turn the angle this way and see how big the target gets. So instead of the tip of my finger, if I tip it this way, you can see my whole knuckle. So now the area of hitting it goes from this to this, just by making the ball run down the side and then curve in and hit the pocket. Well, one of the things I didn't talk about yesterday is when the game advanced, then the ball advanced. So the bowling ball itself started becoming neoprene, and they started making it out of different materials to make it grip the lane harder. Then they started putting cores inside the bowling ball to actually allow it to do this wobble. So when it hits the pins, it drives through the pins, right? So can you imagine being a good bowler? You bowl straight like most people. You got that small angle that you're trying to hit perfectly. And then you walk up to a person that's got two hands, that's throwing it from the gutter, and it's going across the whole lane. Then it gets to the gutter, and then it comes in sideways, and you just see like the back goes white. It's just 10 pins go down, and you're going like, and so we talked about that yesterday. So when people first see it, it's like it's stupid. Then all of a sudden, within a couple of years, you got everyone saying it's illegal. We should, because now this person knows how to do this, then we got to try to find a way to stop this person from doing it. And really listen close to people, right? Because my mentor told me, and this is a great, great statement. He says, Robert, this is the way you win races. There's really only two things you can focus on. One is you can focus on being better, KAIZEN, never-ending improvement. Just consistently move forward and get gooder and gooder. Because hard work will beat talent that doesn't work all the time, right? He goes, now here's a way that other people will win. Breaking the legs of their competitors. And how many people do you guys know right now that, are upset about AI? You know what I mean? It just seems like it never ends, where all these people are talking about, hey, Jim, your twin brother is online. Did you see that? What? And so the one thing that I really wanted to bring to your guys' attention is that even though things are changing very, very quickly, and Matt will continue to change, there's going to be 2 people a month from now, and people 3 months from now, and 6 months from now. The people that are one of the top 10 people in AI upline, and they're not only figuring it out, but they also have their people figuring it out. Because I just look, if you guys wanted to do a cool post, because this just came to my head, it doesn't seem fair because I have an unfair advantage. And some of you can really use the words better than that. It's like, I feel like I'm cheating because I have an unfair advantage. And people are like, so you're working on both the mentalities of both groups of people. You hear what I'm saying? It's like, what do you mean you got an unfair advantage? What is your unfair advantage? And I've always used curiosity, it kills the cat. It really, really does. And so when people get really good at using AI upline, and I don't know if you guys knew this, but if Matt's on here, he can say, but we had Marty that did a really cool testimonial, and Matt put something in the back that if you do a testimonial and load it up, I think you get extra points or maybe even a badge for doing a testimonial, right? So I don't know if that's
Yeah,
true,
you
Matt.
yeah, you get points and you get an achievement. You just got to be logged in. But you'll see it in the sidebar under account.
Okay.
In the sidebar testimonials, you can do a written testimonial, or if you're inclined, and we'd really appreciate this one, you could do a video testimonial too and send that in. So, and you can do it just personally and say, there's a box that says I'm okay with us using this in marketing or I'm not. Not all of the testimonials will be used in marketing, but like just hearing positive feedback from you guys too really helps make the
Right.
platform. So if it's like not something you want to send out positively or send out publicly, but you just want to let us know that we're doing a good job, that really is great. So
Yeah, and if you have privacy, of course, you can use your first name only or something like that if that's the way you feel. But one of the things that I feel that AI is really setting AI upline is really going to make a huge difference because we're hearing this now from some people. It's like it is pretty interesting how slow people are to adapt to this. I thought it would be faster, to be honest. But one of the things that I'm seeing from people is they seem to be more excited by them actually using the product to make them feel more confident and more, oh, now I know what to say, which I think still comes down to the number one thing. Is the number one thing is people consistently say, well, I didn't connect with anybody today because fill in the blank, I don't know what to say. If I got $1 for every time someone sent me a message saying I don't know what to say, I wouldn't have to do this industry. And the other one is objections or people asking questions. If I got $1 for every time someone reached out to me and said, "Hey, I talked to this person and they asked me, do you have to wear a shirt or not when you do the business?" Now I know I'm joking, but man, you would because people actually frickin' freeze because they're worried in their mind over talking or overthinking. They're worried in their mind that they could possibly say the wrong thing. So now they don't know what to say. And then if someone comes up and asks them a question, they don't know how to answer the question. Now, here's something that I've been saying to people that you might not realize you're putting out this energy, but why would the universe allow you to sponsor somebody if you don't know how to help them? So if you're questioning your ability to connect with people, you're questioning you don't know what to say, you're questioning I don't know how to help them, I don't know how to answer their question correctly, then why would you actually attract someone you could sponsor? Because once you bring them in, now they're going to go, okay, so what do I do? And now they're going to be reaching out to you and saying, "Hey, I just reached out to this person and they asked me, do they have to capitalize a letter in the alphabet?" Now, I know I'm making up random stuff, but those to me are just as crazy as some of the people. Hey, I was talking to this person and they said this, and I'm in my mind going, what? But it freezes a person. Does that make sense? It's like because their lack of confidence and belief in their self. So Craig, which I thought was pretty interesting, is Craig when AI Upline first came in and he jumped in, there was someone that pitched him on Telegram. And so Craig just kept going back and forth, whatever they wrote. Craig would post that in AI Upline and ask how to respond to that. And Craig had that conversation going for quite a while until it became obvious that the person was not even interested in answering the questions. I know you guys have heard this many, many times, but sometimes the best way to get to where people are mentally in their head is just asking them questions. So they might say that I don't have money, I don't have time. Is this legal? Is this a pyramid? If you really get down to asking a couple of good questions, you'll find out that that wasn't their concern to begin with. It just wasn't. So it really comes down to bottom line. What do you guys think is the number one concern about people getting involved in anything? The belief in themselves. I don't know if I can do this. It's right on, Jim. That's their mentality. So they'll come up with anything that they can because they just don't want to fail. They don't want to put themselves out there and have something mess up, right? So the best way not to fail is just not to try. And so what I'm looking at AI upline right now, especially with all the people out there that are involved in this industry, millions, tens of millions, of hundreds of millions of people, right? That this could be the big reset for them. So one of the things that you could say to people, I think that would be really, really powerful is if you haven't gotten the success that you've wanted in the past, maybe it was because you didn't have AI upline. Can you imagine having a upline that was there for you 24/7 to help you? Because Matt nailed it right on the head when we first came out with AI upline. It's like people don't know what to say. I don't know how to handle objections. I don't know how to train people. I don't know how to do duplication. And Matt said, in this day and age, I don't know, like I brought this up on a couple of videos now, but there's a lot of people out there right now that are like throwing their hands up, especially network marketing teachers and trainers, and also people that are life coaches. And they're just now realizing that no one wants to read a book. No one wants to watch replays on videos to learn how to do something. They just don't. But they sure want someone to help them. So how many people out there do you think want people to help them? So that if you focus on that instead of trying to sell them on any of the benefits or the things that AI upline does. Some of you are going to do videos of not your face, but just your voice of you using AI upline and going, this is how AI upline helped me. I write in here what to say. Look what it did. I had a person ask me a question. So this is how AI upline helped me. And if you guys did short videos of you recording your screen while you're using AI upline, I can guarantee you people would be coming to you so fast and so quick. And that to me is where people are really going to get it, because the people, again, that introduced them to a way of doing this business and getting results, regardless if they're in another company or not, they're never going to forget the person that made them feel like they figured out a way to do this business. Does that make sense to you all? So have a great day. We'll let you go. And I love and appreciate you, and I believe in each and every one of you.